Hello, today we thought we'd run you through a little project that we've been working on for the last sort of month or so.
So this is Luna. She's a 2019 Berlingo XL, and from the outside you wouldn't think it's anything but a regular dad wagon. So I decided to buy this as a car, as an in-between between a full van and something smaller, because I've wanted to for a while convert a van and be able to travel and stay over in it for a few days, but given on the budget constraints, this is also going to be my daily driver. This was a happy medium rather than stepping all the way up to a transporter or something similar. So with UK regulations stating that cars have to have the same amount of seats unless you want to update their registration with the DVLA, we've made a subfloor that bolts into the previous D-ring holes, as well as the upper structure being able to be removed from these bolts through brackets here, meaning that when it comes to the MOT, everything can just be lifted out, the two rear seats put back in, and for that day, everything's back to normal.
So to keep the budget of this build pretty low, the construction of this bed frame is very simple. It just consists of lots of upright legs with a basic frame, and then what we've done is we've bolted ply to the top. So this creates a light but relatively strong structure that will be able to withstand whatever Ruben throws at it during the night.
Despite the slight taper that is in the upper half of the bed, thanks to the width of this car, the bed is the size of a small double, so a full 190 by 120 centimetres, and that's without moving the passenger and driver seats forward. At slightly different heights, so that the bed is kept level, the legs that are kept in place with small deadlock bolts also allow for it all to be folded away and the car to be used as a 5-seater day to day.
So the table was added as when camping away from home, Ruben wants somewhere to eat his food, prepare his food at night. Also, there was talk of him possibly doing some remote working, so being able to have your laptop, notes and whatever on this desk means he can do that. Furthermore, there can fit 2 people around this table, so therefore you can play some games in the evening, have some drinks, and as you saw, it folds down into the bed structure at the end. So underneath the bed we have 2 things stored. Here we have the blackout blinds that attach to the windows, so that when Ruben pulls up somewhere, he puts these up, it stops all the light and people peeking in, so he can sleep well. Then over here we have 2 clips, which is where the table leg goes, so that when it's not being used, it locks in there and doesn't wobble during transit. So one of the things we discovered towards the end of the build was when the setup was in the bed position, where the table has been cut out as its own piece, as soon as you put any pressure on this, it starts sliding out, creating a gap. Not ideal for when you're trying to sleep. So one of the things we added was another bolt. So what happens is when you're ready to go to sleep, you push this bolt up and it holds the table in place so it doesn't slide down.
To make mornings a bit nicer as well, rather than going out the side door all the way around to open the tailgate, if I'm parked facing view, I've installed a button here that releases the latch. So that's everything as it stands, but moving forward, there are a few things I'd like to implement. First thing of those is taking out this back panel and making it so that there is a drawer going underneath the platform. The drawer would also be able to be removed so that at night, rather than having any boards accessible under the van or on roof racks, I could load a surfboard all the way through up to an 8.5-foot board.
Another future upgrade that Ruben wants to add to this van is getting custom built cushions installed on top of this bed frame so that he hasn't got to use a inflatable mattress, which is what he's currently using. When these cushions are installed, it also adds the possibility of installing a sort of deck chair S-style mechanism to this foldable bed so that it can become sort of a lounger if Ruben just wants to relax in it at the end of the day.
Another thing for long journeys is having water, and whilst a regular size bottle fits in the door bins, the cup holders up here are too small. On top of that, I use a bottle that's even bigger, meaning that there's no chance it'll fit, and with the centre console being quite flat, I'm going to drill a hole and put a 3D printed cup holder I designed in so that I've got a secure place to keep it.
So whilst we didn't quite manage to film the actual construction of the bed and everything we've installed so far, we are definitely planning to film any upgrades that we do in the future.
And on top of that, if I go anywhere with the van, I'm hoping to capture the trips and have both of those types of videos uploaded for you guys to check out in future.